What's going on? What's going on? So I got asked the interesting battle: Jeff Hornacek versus Dan Marley. Now, when I do, sometimes I do these. They're not always based on the superstars or even the guys that were the sidekicks. Sometimes they be the third man, third option. These guys were very interesting players. Hornacek, I remember when he was with Philadelphia, and he was mild mannered. He almost looked like something I leave it to be, raw, clean cut, and everything. And he played all right. I didn't really, I thought, yeah, workman-like game. It'd be different today, but workman-like game. He could shoot. He played. He's underrated on some of his defenses. He didn't. Obviously, no one stopped Michael Jordan, but he did. He had some moments where he did decent enough to come when he went to Utah. And I'm gonna get to that in just a second. But one of those guys that was a practical, doing it kind of all player. I got a funny story. I can't remember. Somebody can comment below. I remember the one at All Star weekends when it actually kind of mattered. And my buddy and I were cracking up off all Jeff Hornacek because he was in the 3-point contest, which he won, and he was in the was it the competition contest with the skills test. And I said, if this turkey could dunk, he'd done all three. I was cracking up. They had Hornacek working overtime. Well, I was cracking up. We laughed about that. But he was one of those guys when he got to Utah, he really fit in Jerry Sloan's system. He played within the context. He didn't overshoot. He didn't overplay. He played right in proximity. And, one of those cats that you be sitting there like, yeah, he added something to the party. He understood his role. That's a lost art that a guy like that could get. Because see, back then, if you played your role and did what you're supposed to do, you buy yourself 10 years or so, and no one even tripped. Respected you. Now, Dan Marley, the Disco Danny, obviously when he was with Phoenix, and I remember when he was with Miami, parking lot shooting Dan Marley, because people forget he had range and he would go to the hole. It's just that I don't know. He had a lot of hype with him. He always reminded me of Baywatch, or somebody reminded me of David Hasselhoff because it was the vibe, the tan. I don't know what it was, but he had that vibe about him that he really got a lot of hype, and we used to like Dan Marley. We used to be doing "Give It Away" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We go, Dan Marley, give it away now. But anyway, we did that, and so anyway, I remember he had some bursts and moments and things. I don't know why, because sometimes I'd be thinking, his stats were a lot more than what they were, because he always used to highlight him coming up with some big plays or some exciting plays, I should say, and he did play with what I call in exciting systems. However, when I did a comparison stat by side, Jeff Hornacek had the better overall career. Because aside from reboundings and I think postseason blocks, Hornacek clears him and everything. Of course, he was a better pure scorer and a better pure shooter. And some things were close. But I think Jeff Hornacek's styling, you got more out of him. Whereas Marley gave you some moments, So it was interesting to looking at the two careers and where they were and overlap and the places they were, and they are guys that's the kind of NBA that I miss, where you had guys that might not necessarily weren't first tier, middle of the road second, and definitely higher than third, but they fit in compartmentalized and you could appreciate what they brought to the table. That's a lost art in today's game. So when you say Jeff Hornacek and Dan Marley, you don't see guys like that no more, because guys like that today got to do like what Josh Giddey did recently, and at the end of the season for the Bulls or something like that. Those kind of guys, they gotta, they're given more green light or more greenery. There's back then you were asked to be a role player and do your thing. So, let me know what you think though. Jeff Hornacek versus Dan Marley. Who did you prefer and why? Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit that membership, because when you do, requests like this come true. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.